God, Jake, I feel like it's Inception at this point. I know yesterday you started the show. You were like, nothing's changed. Game 161 on the year, AL East race between the Jays and Yankees. We're still tied. No blood, I guess. We're running out of time. Tomorrow's essentially the last day. Guys, keep in mind, we have to separate by a game. I know we've mentioned before, but the Toronto Blue Jays have the tiebreaker. So that's one thing in their favor. If they win and we win, we still lose this division, and it's probably what we deserve, right? We had to take care of business earlier. But the Yankees win 6-1 today. I thought Cam Schlittler was the story today. I mean, he's pretty much solidified himself as Game 3 starter if we go into a wild card or a division series. And then I think Aaron Judge's 2-run single, his bases loaded single today, that's a huge hit. That's a hit that normally he doesn't come through with, and he's now doing that consistently. I thought it was the biggest hit of the game. Horrible calls all day long. I didn't want to mention his name, but I just will here. Home plate umpire Ramon De Jesus, he ejects Aaron Boone for really nothing. Mind-boggling to me, and I get it. He did say something, but in a game this important, my opinion on it, and that's just my stance, Aaron Boone should have had to damn near come out there and kill you to be thrown out of this type of game. I mean, for an umpire not to know how big this game is for the Yankees and to just eject their manager at that stage of the game, absolutely ridiculous and uncalled for. Obviously, Aaron Boone post-game said he didn't say nearly enough to be ejected. He didn't cross any line. It's not surprising. It's an ump show out there. But all that said, Judge homers as well, 2 for 4 day. It's his 53rd. He owns Sugano. Ryan McMahon, he remembered he can actually make an impact doing something other than, really bringing his glove out to the field. He homers as well. It's his 20th. And then Jake, Stanton is now red hot. It's his 24th of the year, and that's because he's missed so much time. But he was the worst hitter on the team probably, I don't know, Jake, would you say like a week ago? He was the worst player. Yeah. And, of course, Jazz getting hit on the left forearm. We do have a bit of an update there with a pitch. He left the game immediately. He was wailing in pain. We're all just thinking, you have to be kidding me with this, right? X-rays came back negative. That's great. I think most of you saw that. But they also wanted to get a CT scan as well. That's now complete. It's all done. And that also came back negative. So crisis averted. That's really good. And if you guys are just joining us here at Yankees Unloaded, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell. If you don't hit the bell icon, they won't show you our episode. But we really appreciate you guys, of course. And make sure you guys like the video. It's a great way to help support this channel. But Jake, the Jays are taking care of business versus the Rays at home. So far winning 5-1 today. One game remaining for both sides. Gausman's on the hill, and you actually were just talking to me about how much he's struggling, which I didn't know. Seymour's on the hill for Tampa. Heel versus Bradish, and Bradish has our number. How are we feeling now? Are we hopeful the Rays can come through on a Sunday, or have we made our bed, putting ourselves in this situation?
It was always 162. The Rays will come through tomorrow. Ian Seymour is going to shove, and Kevin Gausman, who's 8-9 against Tampa in his career, and he's lost the 2 matchups this year. He's going to lose the game.
And you called this Sunday, right? This is where the action would happen. Isn't that exactly what you said maybe 3 or 4 days ago?
Yep. And I think, don't forget, Trevor Rogers was giving the Yankees fits the last time out. So the second time they see him, they beat him up a little bit. Well, I think they're going to do that with Bradish tomorrow. I also think, regardless of what anyone says, playing at Camden versus playing in New York when you are the New York Yankees, it is a way different ball game. So I just wanted to make that clear. But the last time Kevin Gausman played against the Rays was in Toronto, because he lost the last game, and probably that was the best he's pitched in a while, I would say, against this team. But the last time in Toronto he pitched, he actually pitched 5 2/3. He had 10 hits given up in 6 runs. So it was a bit of a blow-up start.
Wow.
And that was honestly the worst start he's had against this team since you'd probably have to go back to when he was on the Orioles. So back in 2018. So, I mean, that was a blow-up start. One could say, oh, he's already had the blow-up start. He's going to be like Bayo, and, he'll be fine. I don't know. I feel really good about tomorrow. I do. I think the Rays come through, and I think the Yankees come through. And I think the Yankees are going to get after They're going to get after Bradish tomorrow. And I think Luis Heel is hearing some of the things. So he's not good enough to be the 3 starter and the lucky quote that got out there. I think he's going to be fired up for this one. I'm expecting Luis Heel to come out and pitch well. So I think the Yankees, regardless, though, their offense looks postseason ready. I think you're getting postseason Stanton tomorrow. I think you're getting postseason Judge tomorrow. I think right now, and it's interesting because when you think about, like, Michael Kay brought it up and was like, well, imagine what Ryan McMahon, if he's hitting, what this offense looks like, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so that's the thing. If he gets going here, we'll find out. But, I trust their offense right now, Gary. It just feels like everything's kind of going right for the Yankees. They've won 7 straight. The Orioles look just completely dead in the water. Last game of the year, last licks, obviously, at the Yankees. They're going to want to go down swinging. But I don't know, man. Tonight, I think Cam Schlitler just absolutely stole their soul. That's how I would basically describe it. They had no chance. As a matter of fact, Cam Schlitler dominated the entirety of his start, only had a walk and 2 hits. That's it. Those are the only blemishes on the 7 innings pitched, 9 strikeout performance.
Stuff is incredible today, by the way.
Absolutely. And you notice he expanded a little bit more. You know how, like, normally, like, not normally, but he's trying to find the happy medium where he can go length, but he also wants to get punch outs.
Right.
And so I think he expanded today, and he was okay with the pitch count going up there a little bit more than pitching 2 contact like he's been doing, kind of in between the dominant first start and then this one. So I thought that was maturity. I thought that was a sign of, how do I stand out as Cam Schlitler and not just a guy? And how you stand out is you only give up 2 hits in 7 innings, and maybe you can't go 8 innings because you threw out, you struck out 9 guys, but missing bats when guys are on base is huge. And so that's what he was able to do today. And I just think it was kind of just the lights got knocked out, and they had a home run, of course, off of, Paul Blackburn, but Blackburn was fine. I mean, it is what it is. Mayo, you could enjoy that home run and then, come back next year and maybe have a shot at the playoffs. But Gary, that's the way I see it. I don't look at the Orioles right now and feel like they have any life in them. And so I feel like the Yankees are peaking at the right time. And like you said, good news, about Jazz, and there's just a lot going right for the Yankees. So obviously, I understand Bradish had a really, really dominant start the last time he faced him. That's all the more reason to be motivated. And I think that we saw that against Rodgers. We'll see that tomorrow against Bradish.
Yeah. I think both the Blue Jays and the Yankees can use this as an opportunity. Now, if the Blue Jays win the division, which from a technical standpoint is the most likely scenario, when you have the tiebreaker, there are a lot of people who are like, oh, the Jays are going to win anyways. Well, yeah, it's technically speaking, they're favored in the game for a reason, but there's a favorite in every single game of the season, and yet no team wins more than about 97, 98 games. That's for a reason, guys. It's baseball. Things can happen, and when you're talking about one singular baseball game, and people say, oh, we don't want to go to the wild card because it brings too much randomness to the field, and you have 2 losses and you go home. That's not enough baseball for us to determine who's the best team, and yet no one thinks the Rays can go beat the Blue Jays. This isn't the 98 Yankees the Rays are playing, guys. And we understand that the Rays are not the hottest playing baseball team right now, but they have solid numbers. They actually do against the Jays this season. You have to imagine they're going to give it their best shot. I mean, you predicted, Jake, that their best opportunity to win was going to be Sunday, and here we come. It's the final game of the season. It's pressure. Both teams are facing pressure, and the team with the most pressure clearly is Toronto, right? We talked about George Springer, the type of mentality he seemingly had coming into the week. But guys, I don't want you to hang your heads about what the Jays are going to do. If they win all 3 of this series and take the division, you can't even be upset at that. The one thing you can look at for the Yankees, you're forced to play postseason baseball essentially the past week. You're not going to walk into a wild card failing to prepare. You've been on postseason mode. And more times than not, The Yankees just don't walk into October in that way. More times than not, we're talking about, oh, let's give him let's give him some rest. And then October just starts out of nowhere. It won't be the case for the Yankees in 2025, regardless if we win the division or not.
No, I here's my thing, right? As much as I want the Yankees to win the division, by the way, and I feel like they're going to tomorrow, if they don't, I've been so impressed with the way this team has played and the way they've turned around their season. I think they're still incredibly dangerous. And honestly, we're learning new things about them. Like if Aaron Judge is turning it on at the right time, I would imagine this is going to carry it in the postseason. Stanton, we were like, oh yeah, he's struggling in September. Stanton is a creature of habit. This is the easiest dude ever to figure out what he's going to be. Seriously.
It's fair. It's also Ryan McMahon, right? Like there are a few players. Cody Bellinger's not playing his hottest baseball of late.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Cody Bellinger could benefit from playing a little bit more baseball as we start playing better competition. You have to imagine the Yankees, if they go into the wild card, they're going to win that series. Now, it's not a foregone conclusion. It's just the most likely scenario. Now, if you do that, you get into the division series. Now you're running into an opponent that's now worthy, if you will. You want all of our players, all of our best players, getting it going, right? You also mentioned Ryan Yarbrough. When's he going to get some burn and maybe get acclimated into what the Yankees are doing? Maybe the wild card series is where we see that. Is it likely? No. But is it possible? Absolutely, if there's a barn burner in any one of those games. So there's positives and negatives from playing out of the wild card. I know everybody always likes to perceive, playing this 3-game series, we can go home in 2 games. That's certainly a possibility. But if you get out of the wild card, you're dangerous to those teams in the division series. This team has been playing postseason baseball each of the last 5 days. We've been sitting at home. Rest is a great thing. We would love rest, right? Giancarlo this morning said, we would love to win this division. We've got some banged up guys, but there's also some guys that have it going. How much is that worth? So I'd be curious to see what type of value winning the wild card or the division has for the Yankees, but we've won the division plenty, and it didn't seemingly help us to get off to the hottest of starts. So maybe this is the way for us.
Yeah, I mean, they've locked in that they're going to be the home team regardless. That's what tomorrow is for. You're either the 1 seed or you're the home team in the wild card. And all 3 games, if there are 3, will be at Yankee Stadium. It's weird in a way. I mean, obviously, you know where I stand. I want them to win the division. But in a way, I do see the argument there. Like, I brought up earlier in the year, UConn Huskies with Kemba Walker. Like, do they go as far as they did if they didn't get a chance to have that Big East tournament to get them going, right? And so I feel like, in a way, I mean, we've seen wild card teams win. It doesn't happen very often, but there is kind of that supercharged aspect of it. Like, okay, while everyone's sitting on their hands at home, we're ready to play. Like, we're in gear right now. So, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but at the same time, you come out of the gate sprinting. The team that's looking at it as a marathon, they haven't even played a game yet.
I was just going to say, it kind of reminds me of 2004. I mean, it's a sore subject for us, but in 2004, when the Yankees lost, they're up 3-0 in the series. Everyone's thinking, oh, this is over. And who's waiting in the World Series between Boston and New York? St. Louis Cardinals. And everyone's sitting there thinking, oh, well, we'll just hang out and chill here. I mean, it's a good problem to have. We're already punched our ticket to the World Series. It's just a matter of when the Yankees finally win that final game. And what happens? Boston gets momentum, carries the momentum enough to beat us. Unprecedented. No one's ever seen that before. And St. Louis didn't stand a chance in that series. The second they went to the World Series, I mean, if you watch the documentary, which I don't know if anyone would want to, but all the words out of their mouth was, when we beat the Yankees, we knew that was the World Series. We were not going to be stopped. And that's somewhat, I think, not just the Yankees, but some of these teams out the wild card probably feel that way, is that the wild card's a little tricky. We don't want to be here. Boston doesn't want to be here. But at the same time, when they get out of it, all things are a little bit more equal, and we're the hot team, I guess, is what they cover it as. But, Jake, I want to talk about Cam Schlittler a little bit more in detail, because I know you talked about it a little bit. I really didn't get a chance to. I think this just cements the fact that when you're talking about the value in going deep into a game, not run prevention. Because I think Luis Gil is a great pitcher. He's definitely surprised me because I know I've spoken to you. I wasn't the highest on Luis Gil earlier this year. But the one thing that this Yankees team, the 2025 Yankees, need more than anything from their starting pitching, of course, run prevention, but length. And the one problem with Luis Gil, and I'm not here to just say he's bad, but when you go into a big start, and you're talking about an October game in a postseason setting, going 5 innings and then coming off the mound consistently and maybe giving up 1 or 2 runs, which is a solid start, we still need 4 innings from our bullpen, and you're really putting us behind the 8 ball the rest of the series. So you may pitch well in your own right with your own individual numbers, but you're not helping the guys behind you with the type of length that we need. So I think that's the biggest snag and the biggest catch. So maybe that's what Jack Curry was really getting at, is that the efficiency isn't there for Gil despite the ERA being there. I'm curious to know, obviously sitting there watching Cam Schlittler, they probably think he's most prepared and ready to go for October because, like you saw today, he can go out there. I mean, he went 7 today, and we were able to pass the baseball to one arm and finish the game. No one in our bullpen worked. No high-leverage guy touched a baseball. Nobody warmed up today. How much is that worth for the Yankees in October? When you're likely to go through the wild card, someone like Cam Schlittler who can be more efficient, getting deeper into games, it's probably the best thing the Yankees could have.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I absolutely loved that today they were able to save their bullpen. Paul Blackburn is not somebody that they look at as anything more than he's just an innings eater. Yeah. Which he will probably be on the postseason roster because of it. But, I mean, what Schlittler was able to do was impressive today. And it really put the Yankees in a great spot where they can go all out for the jugular next, tomorrow. So if they need to go with Devin Williams and Luke Weaver and Bednar, like, they can do that, right? So I thought that was the big thing today. But, yeah, anybody that thought Schlittler wasn't a Game 3 starter, I don't know what to really tell you. I think it's a little bit biased based on the fact that he's a rookie, and I think people have biases against rookies in big moments. But I always look back at Juan Soto. I understand he's a different player, but there are guys that had to make do as rookies. And so it's not the first time. It won't be the last. And, yeah, I think Schlittler we've known for a while, Gary, you and I and a lot of people on this show, we've known for a while that Schlittler was the guy. Okay, Will Warren isn't consistent enough, and he gives up the long ball. You saw today, Schlittler's not afraid of giving up, a pop-up or, a deep drive, into closer to the warning track. But as long as you keep it in the yard, I don't care. I do not care how far it goes. So
yeah, he's more results-oriented, which isn't common. I mean, we watched Carlos Rodon come in here a veteran. I mean, we didn't sign Rodon as a 23-year-old. This dude was a vet in the league, and we bring him here, and every out had to be chased as a strikeout, and that's evolved in a great way. Cam Schlittler, in half a season, really, has evolved before our eyes. I mean, he's gone full Pokemon on us. And I did see in the comment section that the concept of Roman Anthony's return. I did see that in the comments, and it's a great point to bring up. What's his health looking like? And Roman Anthony very well could be part of that postseason series. That changes things. It just does. You saw what it looked like at the stadium. He can hit high velocity. I mean, you saw today, Baltimore actually the worst team in baseball against velocity. Fastballs above 97 miles an hour. Cam Schlittler pretty much ate him alive with the cutter, four-seam fastball, the sinker, everything was working. Roman Anthony actually had comment yesterday, actually late last night, and he said, I'm doing everything I can to get back out there and hopefully play as soon as I can. I'm so happy for every single person on this, on this work. We earned it. So obviously he's talking about clinching, but he's close. And so we're rooting for him to be healthy, to be able to play. I mean, that's always been our stance here on our channel. But guys, you have to be aware of all these factors. The more healthy each of these teams are, the more dangerous they are. And their lineup changes with Roman Anthony there. And I know people always say, oh, this guy's a rookie, he's that, he's this. Well, more times than not, all the great players in the history of the game, they're pretty great year 1 or 2 or 3. They were great early, right? Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, a lot of these guys make big impact, and they're slotted in the middle of the lineup. Roman Anthony, before that injury, Jake, he was slotted in at the 3 spot in that lineup at Yankee Stadium. So major difference as far as how we're going to go about their lineup if we face them. Again, rooting for them to be healthy, but it's a factor.
Yeah, and I also saw in the comments section, because our comment section is great, I also saw that Detroit still has a shot to play the Yankees in the wild card. So they're currently up on Boston 2-1 in the top of the 9th. And by the way, the Astros blew it. So now the Astros, I think they get eliminated. I don't remember the exact thing, but I'm pretty sure they get eliminated if Detroit hangs on here.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. So Detroit is up 2-1 on Boston, 1 out, top of the 9th. If Boston loses this, and then Detroit wins tomorrow and Boston loses tomorrow, because they're playing each other, Detroit would play the Yankees in the first round if the Yankees don't win the division.
I would feel very confident against Detroit in a 5-game set. In a 3-game set, it changes things.
It does.
I'm not thrilled with Boston or Detroit. I think we're the better team. With Roman Anthony or not, I think we're the better team. That said, when you're talking about a 3-game set and it's first to 2 moves on, having this ace that can dominate a game, and of course we have an ace of our own, but I just think Crochet and Skubal just have that next gear that maybe we can't go to. I mean, we'll see. But at the same time, we did just see us have success against Crochet, so who knows? Peace Geek with the 5 says, I'm torn. I want the division and pitching setup. I mean, we should, and the rest, but also don't necessarily want a team this hot sitting for a week. Jake, if we looked at each of the last 5 World Series champions, yeah, I'd just say 5, right? How many of those teams had a rest and had an automatic bye going into the division series?
At least half of them, if not all of them.
Yeah, I would love to know, because here, you can go ahead. I'm looking up World Series champions, and I want to see, because of course we know last year the Dodgers won their division, right? They go out and win the World Series. Yeah, I wanted 1903. Are they kidding me? Okay, so the Los Angeles Dodgers win the World Series. The Rangers. Did the Rangers win their division?
I think so.
In 2023? I'm fairly certain they did. Of course, I'm not sure. The Houston Astros, they won their division, right?
Yeah,
so that's 3 in a row. In 2021, we know the Atlanta Braves won their division.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a fair point, but history does back up that it's not as bad.
It's not horrible, but it's not ideal. If you look at the field, because that's what you want. I mean, the numbers are the numbers, right? How likely is it, one compared to the other? If we come out the division just the same way, right? If we come out the division or not, you just look at the pure numbers. What's the percentage chances that occurs? And then you can, it's not set in stone, but we always do the same thing when a team loses game 1 of a 7-game series. What do they always show us post-game? Here's the percentage of teams that win the series after losing game 1, and so on. They continue to do so. I want to win this division badly. I do. But we need some help. And I'm not frustrated with it because, Jake, I think both of us knew when people said, June and July doesn't matter as long as you get going late. That's true as far as getting ready for postseason baseball, but it's not always true when it comes to winning a division, because now suddenly you're asking for help. When in actuality, you've been one of the hottest teams in baseball, if not the past month, and you still might come out of a wild card after that's all said and done. That's unfortunate, but it's the situation that we teed up for ourselves.
It's true. I mean, that's the thing. You're going to think back to those games that they missed, and it sucks because right now the Yankees are the hottest team and the best team currently in the league over the last X amount of games. But this is what happens. This is why the idea, and we talked about this, in April, those games matter just as much as a September game. They do. They count the same. So, at the end of the day, it does matter. The Yankees have to have some help tomorrow, and it's not going to be easy. That said, I do think they're going to come through. I think they're going to win against Bradish, and I think the Rays are going to win tomorrow against Gausman, a guy that they've had success against. So, yeah. Can Tigers knock Boston out? They can. Will they? That remains to be seen. But I will say this is in Boston, and the Tigers have 2 on right now, 2 outs, top of the 9th, trying to go for the dagger there. So, yeah.
I do see in our comments, by the way, that the Astros narrowed out the Texas Rangers in 2023. So there's a wild card situation right there just 2 years ago.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. And I would take it, Jake. I would take it this way. That you would rather see Detroit than Boston?
I'd rather see Boston.
Boston, interesting. I think I would rather see the Tigers. That's just my choice. I think it's the offense. I'm not worried about Detroit's offense. That's my biggest thing.
Oh, well, it is. Yeah. No, I'd rather see Boston in a 3-game set. I agree with your original point. Detroit in a 5-game is different.
It is.
I think 3-game, yeah.
It's completely fair. Apex, and we were reading your supers a little bit early. It says Roman Anthony returns, or is he still hurt for the wild card? We don't have anything definitive. They haven't reported if he's returning or not. And if they do at any point, we would love our audience, of course, to tell us. We'll be on the lookout, and we'll mention it here. But it changes the entire outlook of the series. It does. He's their best player. It's not even close. And Apex with the 2 says, I'm concerned about
Cam
starting Toronto. Oh, against Toronto? Why? Because of the way it looked before? Now, Jake, I guess I'm curious because after that start, we didn't like that he said this. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. He said, I was tipping pitches, right?
Yep. Still don't like that.
Post-game, we spent an hour just giving Toronto credit for the type of at-bats that they had. I mean, you saw the at-bats from Kirk, Springer. I mean, the list goes on. 10, 11 pitch at-bats, working walks, 40-pitch inning. That wasn't because of the pitching, tipping pitches. That wasn't what that was. It was just great execution from another team. And Apex is concerned about that start with Toronto. I'm not as worried about it, but I mean, Toronto has to feel pretty decent coming into that game. They've seen success. They know what the game plan is going to be. Are you worried at all against that matchup with Toronto?
No, I really just feel like the Yankees are going to take care of business no matter who they play. To see them the way they're playing right now, it's just made me very high on them right now. Their current operation, defensively, offensively, you look at the bullpen, you look at the starting pitching, there's just not much there for me to worry about. Now, that's not to say that, this is going to age perfectly and there's no chance that I'm wrong. But I'm just saying, you can see signs of a team that's finding their stride at the right time. It's really not hard to see that the Yankees have been doing that. And I don't care that they're playing an easy schedule to end it.
What about the gauntlet? I mean, didn't we just play what they called? We played Boston. We played Toronto. We played Houston, right? Played
I think
Detroit.
They got better. So if they had to play the gauntlet again, Gary, I think they'd have a better record than they had last time. Which
is fair. And we were... Honestly, I would describe it as dominant outside the Detroit series. The Detroit series objectively was a failure. Yeah. We missed Skubal and we lose 2 of 3. Unacceptable. It was. At home, it was not acceptable. But the overall gauntlet, all the records and all the projections that we said, what do you think their record will be? And there were a lot of people saying, if they go this and this, we'll take that. They excelled and passed all of our expectations. They did. Because most people thought, they just beat up on bad teams, and when they go face Toronto and they go face Boston, they're going to lay down. At Fenway, they're going to lay down. They didn't. They didn't lay down. So they deserve a ton of credit, and there you have it. Matthew with the 10. Really appreciate it, Matthew. I'd love when there's information laced in our supers as well. It says 15 of the last 20 World Series winners won their division. That is 75%, Jake. Pretty convincing. So not a death sentence. It's not a 3-0 series lead where it's pretty much wiped away your chances, but you're knocking it down to 25%.
To be fair, how many wildcard teams are winning 93, 94 games? That doesn't normally happen. It's normally like an 86, 87 win team.
Yeah, like what you saw from the Mets last year, right? The
Yeah.
New York Mets get into, deep into the postseason. They won, I think, 86 or 87 games. That wasn't a great team. They got hot, which is still formidable. I mean, that's what happens. The hot team usually wins in October, but more times than not, the team won 87 games for a reason. They're not that talented. And so we're sitting here today. Do you want to run into a 93-plus win wildcard team? I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's a good point.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like the point that Matthew made while also baking in some info. We love our super chats. We love our comment section. Jersey Girl, thank you for the 5. The one thing I find still find troubling, I didn't even know that was that hard to say, is the amount of men the Yankees leave on base. Bases loaded, no runs isn't a winning recipe. Be at tomorrow's game. So how about that? Yeah, it's been quality over quantity. It was 1 for 2 today. They only left 4 on base. And then yesterday, I believe, was 2 for 5. I'd like to see them improve that, but I haven't had an issue. There was a game 4 games ago or whatever that I had an issue with or whatever, but for the most part, no. I get what Jersey Girl's saying. I think right now I don't really have an issue with anything about their offense or just anything currently about the Yankees. I really just don't have issues with. You're not going to play a perfect baseball game every time, but I think the fact that they're keeping this going, this is a 7-game win streak, this is impressive, Gary. It really is, because like I said, it puts more pressure on you. The more you win, the more pressure is applied. It's harder to hold on to a win streak. It's harder to hold on to a hit streak. Harder to hold on to a scoreless inning streak, right? Streaks are harder because as soon as you continue to compile more and make it more impressive, well, now the stakes are higher. So that's what I would say there.
Yeah, that's fair. And again, guys, if you're just joining us, please be sure to subscribe to Yankees Unloaded and like this video. It's a great way to help support the channel. Jake, when it comes to hitting with runners in scoring position, Jersey Girl clearly has been watching a lot of Yankees baseball throughout the years. But this past week and a half, the Yankees are coming through. I know we talked about it yesterday. They left many men on the bases. But when you're talking about today's outing, the Yankees really had 2 shots. 2. And really the biggest situation of the game, and this is going to happen in October, I promise you guys, where the Yankees are really going to say, oh, wow, we're in the 6th inning. This is our one shot. And it either comes through or it doesn't. That at-bat today, and it was with my opening monologue, was Aaron Judge. That at-bat was going to dictate the feeling of the entire game. If he didn't come through there, I promise you guys, it would have been 3-2. It changes the whole complexion of what you're watching. So what happens with Aaron Judge, he falls behind in the count. Aaron Boone gets ejected, arguing balls and strikes. Ridiculous, right? Awesome. Absolutely absurd. The whole at-bat was just flipped on its head. Aaron Judge comes through anyways with the 2-run knock, changed the entire game. That's the moment that the Yankees have to come through in October. And this is a big step. They normally don't do this. This is not how they normally win games. More times than not, when the Yankees win games, they hit 2-3 homers in the first inning. They don't score again till like the 6th. Some low-leverage relievers in the game, they hit 2 or 3 homers again. You're like, oh, it's a party at Yankee Stadium. That's how they normally win. But the Yankees now are bringing speed into the mix. They're bringing it into the mix where let's get into scoring position by running, and then we're going to allow opportunity for clutch hits, 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. The Yankees did what they had to do today. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they can live up to that in October, because it's still not the same doing it in, whether it's late September or not, it's not the same. Because now when it's for all the marbles in October, now you see who you can rely on, and Stanton's been that guy. Hell, he's even been that guy here late in September, which is showing up a little bit early than our expectations. But Aaron Judge is showing everything, and this Yankees team is showing that they have at least the prerequisites going. that maybe we can trust that they'll come through in these type of spots when it all matters. Because if you look around baseball, other teams leave guys on base as well. They do. You just have to watch enough baseball to see it. Not all opportunities come to fruition. So I'm looking forward to seeing this offense in October. It's always been the key to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. By the way, breaking news, the Tigers have officially beat the Red Sox. So tomorrow's game will decide who the Yankees would play if they don't win the division. It's official
So
now.
we would play Boston if that occurs, right?
Well, if Boston wins tomorrow.
Yes.
If Detroit wins tomorrow, it's Detroit. That's
so
insane.
whoever wins faces us?
Yes.
As opposed to who else would they face if they lost? Who are they facing?
What do you mean if the Yankees lost?
Well, because you were saying that if Detroit wins or Boston wins, they slide back.
Detroit and Boston are playing each other.
So if Detroit loses, what happens to them?
So if Detroit loses tomorrow, I'm not sure about the A's. The Astros. The A's are gone. The Astros, I'm pretty sure, are eliminated after this. But the loser, so the Red Sox already clinched.
Yeah.
But the Red Sox would play the Guardians, if I'm not mistaken, if the Tigers win tomorrow. Isn't that crazy?
It is. I wonder how much goes into...
Major League Baseball is loving this right now. The AL East is up for grabs. The second wild card spot in the AL is up for grabs. And the third, by the way, I believe. Because I think the Astros... Yeah, if the Astros win tonight and then the Tigers would have to lose tomorrow. So, yeah, the Red Sox are in. But the two other wildcard spots are TBD, and we don't know the order.
Do you think these teams are going to look at their season series and maybe, we're fine losing that game? Because it puts us in this spot.
I was just going to say, like, do you think like the Red Sox are sitting there like, yeah, I think we'd rather play the Guardians, to be honest with you?
And mind you, you can look at that a completely different way because Cleveland didn't have as soft of a schedule as the Yankees. Mm-hmm. Some people may say, I would rather play the Yankees because they played the White Sox and they played Baltimore to get to where they are. Whereas Cleveland, on the other hand, I mean, they've been awesome. Cleveland they've lost 2 in a row now, but they've won 7 of the last 10 games. They had a 7 or 8 game win streak. They're a hot team in the game, but they don't have the same star power. Now they have Jose Ramirez, they've got Quan. But as far as like depth in terms of their rotation, they don't necessarily have that for a postseason series. So I'd be curious to know what the league thinks of Cleveland, what the league thinks of the Yankees, because you're going to find out really quickly if Cleveland was just this regular season, got hot for regular season ball, and it just stops the second October ball starts, or if they're for real. So I'd be curious to see if any of these teams are going to have a matchup where you're like, why did they throw this starting pitcher out there? Why are they going with an opener and they get blown out and then all of a sudden they walk into a matchup? So I'd be curious to know, but I think you're kind of playing with your food by teeing up matchups.
Yes, I agree. By the way, can confirm the Tigers will be in the playoffs. They clinched with that win.
Okay.
So they are in first place in their division. And now if the Guardians win tonight, I believe that would knock Houston out. So then the Guardians would take first place but via tiebreaker, and then Tigers play Boston for positioning.
It's unbelievable. I think this is the first year we've seen this much turnover.
I know.
With positioning into the October baseball, because there are a lot of times you can always just see who your matchup is, like basically 10 days ahead of time. It's not the case now. It's not. And when you're talking about the wild card, in any of these teams, Boston and Detroit they've got the ace in the deck in their rotation. There's a lot to be gained and lost by running into a certain team or a certain player. You never know who's going to have it. I mean, Tarek Skubal could have no-hit stuff walking into a game one. Very interesting. And Mark wants to know, he says with the 2, will Volpe hit his 20th in the last game and break the record? What is the record? Is it like shortstops hitting over 20 homers? It's so arbitrary to me because if you're hitting 20 home runs, there has to be the context of what was your batting average, right? Like, what did you do in the other at bats? If you had 100 hits on the season and 20 of them were home runs, that's a bad season. It's not good.
Mark, we appreciate you. Now I'm going to tee this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Love this so much. This is in the hall of regular comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Kevin, you nailed it. Cal Raleigh is the MVP. Oh, he must lead all players in WAR. Well, no, actually. OPS and OPS plus then? No. On base percentage and runs scored? No. But he has 60 home runs? Oh, so he must lead in slugging? No.
Right. Also, no. That's why we came up with all these stats. And we're not going on another Cal Raleigh judge.
No,
we're not doing it.
That was last night.
But
this
Kevin,
show won't be as long as
great.
Last night.
No, it will not. But that was great.
It was great. We appreciate it.
And Yankee Fangirl for Life with the 5 says, I feel when the Yankees play the Sox and win in postseason, the hype of rivalry makes it more like playing the World Series, and it exhausts them for the next series like 2003.
There might be some truth to that.
That's interesting. Because you would have to imagine, it would almost feel like those series that we played in, we can go back to 2017. I think that would be a quality year to go with. The Yankees lost to Houston. Now, throughout the years, we looked at Houston. I know it wasn't literally our World Series, but that was the team we had circled on the calendar every single year. And I think in any year, the next 5, we beat Houston in October when they really had their key cogs out there on the field, right? The Bregmans, Springers, like that whole roster. If we had beaten Houston, it would have felt like we got over the hump, or at least one of the humps. I don't feel like we would get that by beating Detroit, right? We didn't get that last year by beating Cleveland, by beating Kansas City. Our World Series was quite literally the World Series. That was the one major team we ran into, and obviously we fell short. But what do you think about this? Because this is a great point.
Yeah, it's very interesting, right? It kind of reminds me of the 49ers that year. It's like every team they played after they played them, they lost. Do you remember that?
Every team after the 49ers played who?
Every team that played the 49ers lost the next game.
I didn't know that.
It was like 16 straight. It was insane, right? And they said because the 49ers played this physical style of football that just no other team was playing.
And the premise is like, okay, we need to get up for this game. Let's get essentially what Yankee Fangirl for Life is bringing up is a letdown series, right? You play Boston. It's high stakes, highly emotional, maybe some benches clearing. We move on. Yeah. Now you run into Detroit. How do you feel now, right? Does it feel as amped up? No, it's probably a little step down from that. And we love the rivalry as much as anything. We do.
Of course.
But there's a time and a place to see them, and it's probably not as an appetizer.
At the very least, the rivalry is back. So anybody that was worried about that kind of dying off, it's definitely renewed. So I'm not worried about that. Gary.
What's up?
The Tigers do not want to see the Guardians. They do not want to see the Guardians. Tarek Skubal is confirmed for tomorrow against the Red Sox. Is that crazy?
It is wild. So how many days rest would that be officially if you pitch the final game of the season and then you pitch game 1 of the wild card?
So game 1 would be, it's Tuesday, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it would be Tuesday.
Almost positive. So he's not pitching. See, you only do this if you know for certain that this is going to get you the result that you want. Tuesday is the official first day. So the AL wildcard, both AL wildcard games would be Tuesday.
Okay, so you have to, essentially Detroit could be just saying, we want him to pitch. If it's rushed, it's gonna be Wednesday's game 2.
He's not pitching on Wednesday, I don't think. I think they're probably
teeing up a game 3.
Are they teeing him up? That's insane. I'll tell you right now, AJ Hinch, I have no issue going for the jugular, trying to just make sure, because you clearly have identified this team has your number. I want to play against the team we have their number, right? So I get that. This is not an easy choice because if you pitch School tomorrow, which you're doing, you're not going to have him for Tuesday. So that's game one. Game one. Game two would be Wednesday. Now he's on, 3 days rest? Not even? 2 days rest?
I think they're angling for Scooble pitching this game 162, to get the matchup they want, which you know. Pitch game 3 of the wild card. If you're going to lose game 1 and game 2 of the wild card series, then it wasn't going to go your way anyways. The most likely scenario in every single wild card series is that it's 1-1 going into a game 3. That's the most likely thing to happen. So if it does happen, the Detroit Tigers technically will be teed up for Tarek Skubal, arguably the best pitcher in the game, to go throw game 3.
This is wild, Gary. And this is what it comes down to. The Yankees, they get to play an easier schedule down the stretch because they played it harder earlier in the year. The Tigers having to, finish their year against the Red Sox, absolutely asinine. Having to finish their year against the Cleveland Guardians, this is tough. This is going to take a lot out of them. I honestly think they're at a serious disadvantage here. I gotta be honest though. I don't know what I would do. I think I would probably. I don't think I'd go with Skubal tomorrow. And I understand how that sounds, but
no, I hear you. Because in the wild card, your main advantage is pitching game 1, having Skubal, but they also are probably aware of the disadvantage going through the wild card. I think every wild card team thinks, okay, well, what can we do from here?
Anyway,
you're not. But what they could say is if Detroit goes and throws Skubal and he's teed up for game 3. What if we win in 2 games? It's just 2 games, right? It's winnable. It's definitely possible that Detroit wins game 1 and 2. Well, if that happens, guess who's throwing game 1 of the division series? And the team in the division series going, are you kidding me? Tarek Skubal. That sucks. Yeah. So I think honestly, while I probably don't throw Skubal in this game, there's definitely an angle where it could be more dangerous if things bounce Detroit's way. Detroit's not playing great baseball, but they can use this ace to their advantage. So obviously, super thought-provoking super chat there. And PB Music with the 2 says, any chance the Yankees can play the Guardians?
In the ALDS, right?
Yeah, that would be in the division series if we saw them, I believe.
Because the Guardians... Well, hold on.
Are you able to pull up the bracket now? Has it been refreshed to what it is now?
I mean, I could pull it up. Here's my thing, right? I want to know based on this. So yes, it's still the same. It's just the Guardians with the 6th seed. So how about this? So we'll do, I think, playoff predictor. I normally use it for the NFL bracket, but I think they have a baseball one. And I'm just going to put in, let's see here.
I think Major League Baseball needs a more immersive standings of what the brackets, what's at stake, so that fans of other teams, if you're a fan of the Yankees, you know what happens if Boston loses. Oh, they may play you, right? Or they may play Detroit. They need to do a better job of making that interface a little bit more seamless.
Okay, so Sunday. So let's say the Red Sox lose and the Guardians win. Can the Guardians... Is there any way for that to... That's kind of what I'm trying to think about right now. So the Tigers beat the Red Sox, and then the Guardians would beat the Rangers. So technically speaking, I don't know if there's a way, because of the tiebreaker. I don't think there is a way possible for the Guardians to play the Yankees if the Yankees are in the wild card. I'm looking at it right now. I don't think that there's a way because of the tiebreaker. It makes it confusing. Yeah.
So are you more worried about Cleveland than you would be Detroit or Boston? How threatening do you think Cleveland is?
At all. I'm not.
Are you less worried about them than Boston and Detroit in a division series, let's say?
I'm not really worried about anybody. I would say the Tigers are probably the most worrisome just because the Yankees haven't played them well at any point this year.
That's completely fair. Because Boston, we didn't play well. Toronto, we didn't play well. But we got our last lick in where you're not coming into Toronto series saying, oh, we can't beat this team.
Yeah.
You're not going into Boston saying, oh, we can't beat this team at the stadium. We've now done that. But Detroit, yeah, you're right. That's the one team. I mean, we just beat Cleveland last year in October. So they don't have our number. And all these teams are formidable enough to where you have to show up ready. But I think the word choice of being worried, we're not worried about any of these teams, but we should be worrying about ourselves. But interesting question. Not exactly sure. It's really difficult to figure out.
Great question.
Because who the hell we can play.
We just learned. We didn't know, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I knew. That's a stupid question. This is why we always say there's no stupid questions. That's a great question. And we just found out. I put it through this simulator, and I can tell you, tried every which way. Yeah, the way it stands is that Cleveland, no matter what, Cleveland is not going to get the 5. It does not appear that they can get the 5 under any circumstances. So
yeah, you said there's no
Boston
stupid questions.
Well,
my wife would disagree when I ask her where something is in the fridge.
I think
it's right there. If I come over there and look, will I not find it in 10 seconds? I'm like, oh, and I start panicking. But yeah, Matthew, yeah. And I find it real quick when she says that. Matthew, really appreciate the 5. Says last 10 years, including 2020, the shortened COVID season, AL wildcard win average. This is interesting. 90.7 wins, which is relatively formidable. In the National League is 91.1. Now, I would imagine the National League is a little bit skewed on the higher end, probably because of the NL West. The NL West has been a strong division now for a while. Pretty much no matter what you do. The Dodgers have won. This is the worst season they've had in a long time, and they still won this division. Well, look how many teams have had really good seasons in the past, especially the last 5 years. And they're like, oh, yeah, great season, but Dodgers still won it at 101 wins. So, yeah, Jake, that tells you what you normally run into. You normally run into a 91-win team.
I'll tell you right now, Gary, this is one of the worst wild cards I've ever seen in terms of NL. There's going to be
who's in it and for the NL now?
There is guaranteed to be at least one team that only won 84 games.
Oh, my Lord.
Actually, scratch that. There's guaranteed to be one team that won at least 83. They could win 84, but if the Reds win tonight, they would knock the Mets out for the time being. And if they both lost tomorrow, there would be an 83-win team. Now, mind you how ridiculous that is.
Who goes through in that scenario where the Reds and Mets lose?
The Reds. As long as they win tonight, yes, we are rooting for the Reds.
Oh, my.
I'm rooting for chaos, so give me the Reds tonight, and then they both lose tomorrow. I want to see an 83-win team make the postseason. Because, I mean, it just kind of goes to show you, right? Go back to, what was it? Go back to 2023, and the Yankees had 82 wins. That team would be knocking on the door to potentially go to the place.
Well, you don't think that Josh Donaldson could have led us to a World Series championship that year with no Aaron Judge?
Never say never, Gary.
That goes to show you how bad that is 500 baseball.
Yeah, it's awful.
Essentially. It's essentially awful. A 500 baseball team showing up in the wild card, and they're like, hey, you guys ready to play some ball? And it's baseball. You can always take a game or two, whatever it is. But, man, that is pretty pathetic. And we're rooting for the Reds, obviously, in their ascension.
Yes. They're fun to
young
watch,
team,
too.
Fun to watch, right? You got Ellie. It's definitely fun. Nobody's afraid of those teams, obviously, especially as you go into the division series. Cincinnati and the Mets are going to be nothing burger series in the division series.
They're teams that have plus point differentials or run differentials, if you want. But
right.
None of them offer anything on the road, right? They both have negative records. At home, the Mets are a little bit better than the Reds. The Reds are more likable. That's really what it comes down to.
Can you believe the Mets on the road? 33 and 46.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the Dodgers are eviscerating whoever they play.
Of course they are. And the Dodgers are a flawed team. I mean, their bullpen is
this is
going to
be in
shape.
LA. a postseason game in LA. No, you won't. We won't get to 3. That's gonna be a damn.
We should send Garrett Cole down there to talk to the Mets and get them all settled. Be like, hey, this is a new ball game. You've never seen anything like this before. His Will Warren pregame speech.
Hey man,
if you will.
I'm trying to see Yamamoto versus Clay Holmes.
Can you guys believe that that's even a possibility that they're going to waste our time with that? It's ridiculous. Matthew, again, really appreciate the supers. Very thought-provoking. Chris, thoughts? He didn't have a thought with us there with the 2. But thank you for the super, obviously, to
and then he had another one.
Support the channel. And Chris also with the 2 says, thank you for that, Chris. Says, Gary, does your dad have a take on the MVP debate? No, my dad is like one of those type of people who he sits in his cigar room because that's where he watches his TV. And it's like a 200-inch with the score bug and all it looks like a Buffalo Wild Wings just inside of his own house. And he honestly, I'm not even sure he watches the games. He watches football though. But no, I'm not sure if he has a take on I'm almost certain he doesn't know what's going on with Cal Raleigh. So no, he doesn't have a take. But Chris, we really appreciate you. And Mark with the 2, Mark, as always, thank you. Says tomorrow the Jays versus Tampa pitching matchup is actually close. Yeah, Jake, that was actually your take. Is that matchup's a lot closer than what people think? I think it is entirely possible. So you're leaning Tampa for that game?
100%. I think they win tomorrow.
Well, put your money where your mouth is. You better be putting a wager on it. At least you got to put a tenner on it, right?
Yeah. No, I'm definitely. I'm gonna do one of those parlays, right? Like Yankees.
We'll have to ask Guy what he's doing because we'll see post game how accurate Guy is. Guy's the guy you need to go to.
Yes. Yeah. Guy just wins everything.
He does.
I'm gonna do a 4-leg, and
oh boy,
I know I'm Aaron Boone.
Anytime I hear legs parlays, I'm like, oh, you just want to lose money. Great.
Yeah. No. So this is what I'm gonna do. Ready? Yankees.
Okay.
Run line. I'm gonna go with 1.5.
Okay.
I'm assuming. Well, they might not be favorites tomorrow. I would assume they are. 1.5. I'm gonna go over on whatever their over is. Actually, I'll have to think about it. I think I'm actually gonna go under on probably. It's likely gonna be like 8.5 runs. I'm gonna go under. I think we see 2 really close, low-scoring games. Yankees win, I'm going to say 4-2 tomorrow. And I'm going to say the Rays win 3-2 tomorrow. But I
agree with the low scoring because you have to remember the Yankees bullpen, after today, Blackburn was the only guy to work. Bednar can be used multi-inning. They're not going to hesitate to use anybody for any matchup. That should help the Yankees. And the Yankees bullpen has been awesome for now the better part of 2 weeks. Now the matchups of who they've seen is a factor, but those matchups are still here. So yeah, I can see low scoring, especially in the Yankees game, but man, do we need the Rays? And I get it. Don't ever trust somebody else to do your work for you, but they can help us. And my God, could you imagine winning this division after that roller coaster of a June and July? You get hot in September, a couple guys go ice cold, and it just didn't matter. It would be sweet. I want to pop some champagne tomorrow. I do.
I got yeah. All right, it's in. I'm not gonna say the sports book because we're not getting paid, so I don't care.
Nope. Yeah, that is completely justified.
Yeah,
they can beat rock till they're paying us.
Yeah, bingo. So Tampa versus Toronto. I got Tampa winning money line. Under 7.5 total runs, which is very low, but I think it's going to be that, right? I do think we're going to be looking at like a 6-run, 5-run thing. The Yankees, I got run line 1.5, so they have to win by at least 2 runs, and I have them under 9 total runs. I think 9's too high. I think
9's very high. I mean,
especially with the full bullpen. I don't really know what they're thinking there, but let's just say you don't want to go all in on that. That would be plus 1791, right? But if you wanted to just break them up, say you just wanted to put your money where your mouth is when it comes to the Rays, plus 366 with the under and Tampa money line. Reason being is Tampa is not the favorite, obviously. So you could actually make some decent cash with that. So, yeah.
I love it in the comments where people are like, well, the Jays are going to win and the Yankees are going to win. I'm like, well, thank you for telling me the favorites. Hey, we know.
Yeah,
we know who's favored in the game, what's most likely to happen, but we're just trying to figure out, is there an angle? Not every game goes according to the favorite. I mean, those of you who do national, like you do the college basketball brackets, you'll know better than anybody. If you just pick the favorites, you are going to have one of the worst brackets ever. I'm just telling you, if that's the way you're doing your bracket, you will suck. So
what is it? I think we'll see. It's you have to pick at least 5 upsets in the first round.
Yeah, 4 or 5, right? They're going to be upsets because you have to look at matchups. Okay, how does this team play against an up-tempo offense, right? And there's some type of science to it. There's a huge part of luck. Nobody's ever had a perfect bracket, but you get the gist. We're trying to see, are there any factors that can throw tomorrow's what's supposed to be a Jays win off base?
It is locked in now, by the way, Gary. So.
Oh, you did it. Okay, cool. I'm glad I talked you
right on the show. You talked me into it.
I'm glad I could do that.
189.12. So we'll take it.
All right, cool. Sounds good. And Apex with the 2, our final super chat, and we'll get to our voicemails. He says, Jake, check Brewers pitcher today and tomorrow for Reds.
All right, let's see what we got here. Apex. We got. That's at 7:15. So we'll get on out of here so you guys can watch that. Robert Gasser. Oh, my God. Versus Andrew Abbott. Yo, the Reds are going to win tonight. The Reds are definitely going to win tonight. And then
it seems that way.
What does it look like the next day? That's right. That's the question.
I'm completely unsure of that matchup. I have no idea.
That is a 3:10 game. Oh, my goodness. Freddie Peralta versus Brady Singer. And then who do the Mets have, right? Because the Mets are playing.
I'd probably give that matchup to Peralta.
The Mets beat Clay Holmes won today. He threw a 1-hitter.
Really?
Yeah, against Yuri Perez, who had 11 strikeouts and probably wants nothing to do with this organization.
Wow. I mean, that's impressive from Holmes. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so tomorrow, 3:10. Undecided for the Mets and my guy Edward Cabrera, who the Yankees came close to acquiring for the Marlins.
Oh, so close.
Man.
So there you have it with our matchups. I like the way the Reds are sitting right now.
Yeah, I would. If I'm a betting man, which I kind of told you I was, just because I've never placed a parlay on a show like that.
And I'm not. I'm just a bad influence.
Yeah, it is what it is. I would say the Reds win. I would say the Reds are going to end up winning. I think they win tonight. And I would say tomorrow they lose and we get an 83-win team make the playoffs.
It would be good for the Reds just to get in there, see a big game, what that's like, maybe go into a game 3 of a wild card. That'll be fun for them. It will.
Yeah.
So it's a great experience.
The
Mets are a useless waste of time. There's no reason for them to ever be playing in that. What are they doing there in the wild card? They're just going to go sell chicken and be eliminated immediately. It's totally pointless. They're not built to do anything. It's just, I mean, their own broadcasting crew has just ripped into them the whole last week. And it's for a good reason. It's their take. They watch them more than I do. Anytime you watch this team, they are just anemic in every way imaginable. So I didn't mean to make this a rip fest of the Mets, but there's no learning experience for the Mets to be in the wild card in 2024, lose, and then come back and be a much worse wild card team than you were the year prior. What's there to be learned from that? Just go home.
Juan Soto is hitting 265. That's insane. He's way too good of a hitter to be hitting 265.
Well,
I just realized that.
It's the walks, it's the slugging. They judge the game today differently than obviously you and I do. We like a little hybrid. I need what Aaron Judge is doing, hitting 330, hitting for power, taking his walks. It's harder to hit for batting average today in today's game with everyone throwing with high velocity, them clearly going to the bullpen, the best possible matchup for you. It's not as easy to hit for batting average, but man, a 265 is just, it's not going to cut it.
Dude, that 2-base knock Judge had is exactly why he's MVP. I can't stress it enough. That at bat right there is what makes him more impressive than Cal Raleigh. That's why.
Yeah.
That right there is why he broke the American League record for intentional walks in a season, because they are like, oh crap. Well, he can go yard, and that's obviously what they're scared of. Bases loaded, just put the ball in play. If you find a hole, you're going to have 2 runs right off the bat, maybe even 3. So yeah, that was so key and critical. That won them the game. I had no
fastball and
doubt
the changeup.
Yeah, I had no doubt about it. Also, that was the at bat Aaron Judge got robbed in. I mean, his manager gets tossed in the middle of it, and he gets that first call. Oh, it's awful, 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 awful. But anyway, we move on to voicemails. So let's let them rip. We got 3, and here's Guy.
Let it fly, Guy.
Yes, it's 2:51 in the morning, and this is a record for Yankees Unloaded voicemails. Yeah, I'm still up. I won't be around to see the game tomorrow, but hopefully, usually you guys do a later afternoon or evening, I should say. Hopefully I'm back for the podcast. I've already done my work, and the Yankees don't care who they're facing pitching. So they're just going to do their thing and hit as many runs as they can. The over-under is 8.5. I have it going over.
Oh.
No.
I'll pick a score. I'll say the Yankees 7, Orioles 3. But who knows?
Not bad.
The Yankees might get 10. All right, I'm out.
We appreciate you, Guy. Close.
Man, they really know where to put those over-unders. Isn't that incredible?
Dude, they just know. They just know, man. As soon as that's why you got to be careful, because as soon as I'm on a streak, it's like, yeah, but these people know what they're doing.
Yeah, no, these people they're degenerates. They know exactly where to put it. So, Guy, thank you for the voicemail, man.
Oh my goodness, we have we have the longest voicemail I think ever from Ninja. But before we get to
Ninja
that,
left a scroll of okay,
an elder scroll. Yeah.
Yes.
Before we get to that, Kyle Malay is Mr. Popular Vibrator. Kyle Malay.
Is Kyle going first?
The phone's just gonna be vibrating the whole time.
Hey guys, Tom Light here. Another good win by the Yankees. They're doing their job. The Rays are not. Like I said, it's gonna come down to tomorrow. Hopefully the Rays can at least win tomorrow, because they're not gonna win today. It looks like they're down 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th.
It's on the treadmill.
Gosh, it's gonna come down to tomorrow, definitely. Because
He did say that.
But hey, if the Yankees keep winning, everything's gonna work out. But Jesus, can we just get the Rays to win one game, please? Like, win your last game tomorrow, and the Yankees win theirs, and let's all have a good 3 days off or whatever. And Jesus, nothing can never be easy for the Yankees. But all right, bro. Everybody have a good day, and you guys have a good show. And please, Rays, win one game, for your pride, and because we let you use our stadium, our spring training stadium. But yes, let's all have a good day, and go Yankees.
So, no texts. Wow. Okay.
What do you mean?
I didn't hear any vibrating.
No, it seemed like he was on AirPods outdoors. That would be my guess.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, either that or he was on the treadmill. So, hell of a voicemail. Thank you for that. And you said we've got a scroll going. This looks like a Harry Potter book.
The Elder Scroll. Do you see this?
Yes, I see it.
Oh, my goodness.
Let it fly.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Kyle was in his car, he says. Yep.
What up? I am on a walk while recording this, but
there it is.
Did their job, and they've now stat padded 7 times in a row, which is good for them. Rays, however, did not do their job. Now, I have a couple things to say. First, the Rays have officially lost their right to play in Steinbrenner Field. They were unable to get us into first place, which was the payment that we should have gotten for us letting them use our field. So, no more Steinbrenner Field for them. They better finish building that new stadium in Tampa or Orlando or wherever it is. they're going to play. I still don't get that whole thing. Second, the Yankees will not finish in first place. And I know a lot of you will be upset. People will argue that, no, they still have a chance. Trust me, I think the Yankees are going to win out tomorrow. However, the Blue Jays are playing in crowded Rogers Center with stakes higher than ever because they want to finish in first place. Tampa, they're already eliminated. They don't have anything to play for. They don't have anything to earn. And they don't have any fans that really care anymore. So I don't see them realistically winning. I think they're just going to go in there tomorrow thinking, better luck next year, and they're going to lose because they don't have anything to win. Now, this is grounds for firing Cashman and Baboon. With this payroll, we should have finished in first place, for one thing. And second of all,
It's probably true.
I've always argued that every game counts, and the organization seems to disagree, and they play many games, like the Marlins series, with just not caring. But if we had won one of those games, we'd be in first place right now. And I would not be yelling, I would not be on this voicemail telling you guys we suck. But that's what I'm doing, and I'm disappointed. We should be in first place. We should be in first place, and we're not. And I'm not happy about that. I think we've done everything perfectly, but it's too late, and I don't see us finishing it first. Fire Baboon.
Yeah, us finishing in first place is all going to come down to what happens in that Jays game. It's out of some of that's out of our control, and it's not what you want, and we've earned that.
Not what you
but
want.
as far as the Rays Stadium is concerned, I did hear that they're looking where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play in the NFL. They're looking in that area. That is going to be a traffic nightmare. It's already a nightmare.
It already is.
Yeah, getting down there, it is a nightmare. My family is season ticket holders to the Bucs. It's hard to find parking in its own right. Obviously, Tampa is a great area, great place to put a baseball team. Obviously, they have a young community, much younger than St. Petersburg. Tampa's where my family's from. But man, least they can do, we give them a stadium to play it all year. Man, we could use their help. Maybe Karma will come save us.
Yeah, I'm gonna push back on that incredibly downer Ninja Hot Dog scroll. What the hell, man? He's like,
we're playing great.
I know.
We are.
There's no need for us to feel bad. No need whatsoever.
We could be disappointed, I would say, for not winning the division. Because Toronto's definitely pushed us, and we were so anemic in June and July. I think June and July is where you can get really negative about this team. That should not have happened.
Yeah, no, of course.
Can you play worse baseball? Yes. That's going to happen to all teams. But to play as bad as we did for as long as we did is why we're in this position in the first place. So as far as how we're playing the last, I don't know, Jake, 45 days of baseball, we've been really good against good teams, against the bad teams. We're just beating up on the bad teams. We've been playing some good ball. So yeah, Ninja, you got to be a little bit more positive now because the Yankees are the hot team. But yeah, definitely some level of disappointment not winning the division because I do feel like we should have, but you never know because I bet you anything Ninja will be pretty positive tomorrow. If the Jays lose, he's going to say, wow, the Rays got lucky. No, the Yankees just went out there and applied pressure and stole the division.
Yeah, and I'm just going to push back because it wasn't just that, Gary. It was more so they have nothing to play for. I disagree. I mean, some of these guys are playing for their jobs. Some of these guys are playing for the future on this team. And I'll tell you right now, it's a big deal for Seymour. You don't think he wants to win this last game of the year? So, no, I think the fact they're pitching Seymour tells me everything I need to know. They're going after it tomorrow. They just are. And if there was any sort of affinity for anybody, it would be former Yankee Kevin Cash to the Yankees. That's what I think. So, we'll never hear it, but Ian Seymour going tomorrow, that tells me that they feel really good about this game. They feel good. They feel like they can win. They want to win. And like I said, they've beaten up on Gausman before. So I think they do it again to a degree.
That makes me feel good. That makes me feel so good. which
Yeah.
I didn't know, by the way. I didn't know because before you said it, I didn't know Gaussman doesn't have success against Tampa. Actually, and Gaussman's a good pitcher. It reminds me a lot of Garrett Cole versus Boston, where you're looking, and this is Garrett Cole in Cy Young seasons, could not do anything with the Boston Red Sox, and the Red Sox weren't even a competitive team while that was happening. It was really Rafael Devers and what else? And yet he could not get outs. So we have to hope that what's happened in the past with Gaussman in Tampa comes to fruition tomorrow, because it can send the Yankees exactly where they need to go. And James here with a prediction in our final super chat, and we'll wrap up with a comment in our comment section, says, James with a 5, got to make a bold prediction. Yanks win division with a nail-biting walk-off win in the 10th. I could not possibly stomach a walk-off game tomorrow.
My goodness.
What time, by the way, does Toronto play?
They play
tomorrow?
at the same time. It's 3:05, I believe.
Could you even fathom,
Dude,
if Toronto finishes their game in a loss half an inning before we walk off? I would go berserk. We're going live within 10 minutes. You guys better bet your ass you're ready in the middle of a Sunday. Dart it home, because we are going live.
it's gonna be crazy because I'm gonna have the Rams Colts game, and I'm gonna have the Yankees game on the entire time. Good news is the Rams and Colts game is during the 4 o'clock, so typically the 4 o'clock doesn't have anything great. That's just what I found. You want the games on during the 1, I think. But as far as that goes,
And by the way, Yankee Fangirl for Life will be at this game tomorrow. I believe I saw that in the comments. So enjoy yourself. What a great game that could be. If that situation plays out, Jake, that's the game you want to go to.
Yes. How do I say this? I don't. Well, I'll put it this. I'm over the last second, all that you already know from our game. I'm tired of it. Can I have a comfortable win, please? Can I just have that? Because I just watched my Kansas Jayhawks lose in the final seconds against Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Watch the Rams have a blocked kick against the Eagles. Easily would have made it because it was a 40-something yard field goal. Like I'm over the last second stuff. Like let's just get a comfortable thing going, right?
And it's been pretty comfortable. Like today was a comfortable win.
Yeah,
I think
of course.
where the discomfort is going to come in is in that Tampa game. Man, we need them. We do.
I don't
so
need
I
my
think
heart
that's what I want.
strained any longer.
No, in both
I'm over
games.
this.
So I'm going to say this. I'll drop it in. You did this yesterday and you had the comment. I'm going to say drop this in the comments. Drop in your predictions for the games tomorrow. I know technically we can go with the favorites, and don't feel like you have to stray away from the favorites in any of these games. You don't have to do that. You can look at it and say, yeah, Gaussman hasn't pitched well against Tampa, but it wasn't in a game that's considered in contention in a pennant race, right? And you can think Gaussman's just going to turn it on tomorrow. That's certainly possible. Drop in the comment section what you think is going to happen in both games, where we finish, because if we win this division, I want to see who calls it in the comments, and I want to see who doesn't and maybe calls it the other way and who's right. We'll see. Jake, anything else?
So I think that's going to do it. So yeah, drop the comments or predictions in the comments section. I've already told you my predictions. I mean, I literally put my money where my mouth is. So be sure to check out those. Actually, before you get out of here, I'll just throw them back at you. Tampa money line under 7.5. Yankees run line under 9, which is insane. I can't believe it's that high. But yeah, that's gonna do it. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. No, like this video?
Yeah, like this video.
Like this video.